Hey everybody, this is Z-Dog again. Sorry about the first video we cut off. I didn't mean to. So what we're doing is we're going to come in here and we're going to actually baste the chicken, not the turkey. It's not time yet. We're close, same month. So it's been in here for about 15 minutes. So what you just want to do, get your spoon and just gently go over the top. Now, you're going to have a lot of garlic, so some of that can go back down in there. You don't have to have all that garlic on top. That's a lot of garlic. As you can see, this goes all the way around. You can still clean that up a little bit. Stick some of that. So to show you what I'm doing, that right there needs to have some more into it. Oops. We'll just stick some of that in there. I'll fix that a little bit. Now, with putting this on top, it'll literally clean a lot of that off. You don't want a lot of that gunked up on it because it'll all bake onto the chicken, and that's a lot of garlic that you have in there. You're not going to use all the garlic. There we go. So just make sure you get as evenly as possible. You want that other side too. Look at that. Okay, now we'll just slide that back in there. Slide that back in there. And you want to do that, it'll start to dry out every 15 minutes. Now, with this chicken, I'm also going to I'm sorry guys. I'm also going to cook homemade steamed broccoli. I might end up not steaming it though. I might end up just cooking it down in some butter. Get fresh broccoli from the store. You want to make sure that it's firm and not flimsy. Always cut the ends off too. Cut the leaves off and everything. So we'll get to this here in a little bit. Come back in a few minutes. We'll see what else we got to do. Alright everybody, so this is Z-Dog. I'm back. I know we took a short break. So what we're going to do, we're going to end up cooking these. Now these are just some nice looking pieces of broccoli that I got from the store. I'm very happy with it. I got 3 nice looking pieces, and it'll look nice when it's done. Don't throw your bag away. If you got a bag that you brought this home with, don't throw it away. I'll show you why. A little trick that I know, and it's really simple. First of all, you take this over and you wash them. Cold water. You're not trying to get them started. And you just rinse them. Get the water in between them. Get the water in between it. Let me show you. I'll show you what I'm doing here. Just rinse the stuff off. Nothing major. They spray this with that bug stuff. Just clean that off. Shake it out real good. Well, that's pretty much all that is. Anybody want to know? Alright, we'll do that with the same thing over here, these two. Make sure everything's getting rinsed off of it real nice. Shake that out real good. These are, I like to call these baby trees. Alright, so this is really simple. Now, most of these have leaves still on, so we're just going to pluck the leaves right off of that. Up here around the tops as well. Just get all these leaves, the starter leaves and everything off. And there's some on the inside. And you're not going to get them all just doing it this way. You'll have to, you know, individually as well. Alright. What I mean by individually is whenever I'm able to cut the heads of it into individual pieces, then now we'll just move that over there, get that out of the way. Now it's got a nice looking leaf on it. Got a starter leaf there. A whole bunch of these little bitty ones, just pull them off. Not that the leaves will actually hurt anybody. I mean, they're just leaves. But they're kind of annoying. Kind of creeps people out for some reason, you know. So, I don't know. I just take them off. You can eat them. It ain't gonna hurt you none. Alright. So you take a knife, preferably one that's clean. I don't know why that's in there like that. It's not clean. A little soap and water goes a long way, guys. Mind you, this is a brand new knife. It'll be very, very sharp. Very sharp. Okay. So, it's really simple. Cut the ends off because you don't need it. This is still edible. The stock is still edible. And then you'll have pieces like this. You can cut these in half here in a few minutes. Now, once this is already done, pull the heads off so that they're individual like this. They just pop right off. Pop right off. Get some bigger ones in here. There we go, like those two. Yeah. How about that? That looks nice. Look at that tree all by himself. Just pop that off there like that, and then you got another stem. This is still edible. It's just a stem. It's nothing major. It won't hurt you. Now, because I have this brown spot, see the brown spot? We're just gonna carve it right off of there. Carve that right off of there. You don't need it. Just carve that right off of there. Okay, so we got that. You know, get that one. All right. Cut the end of it off. That has the bad spot. Cut that off of there. Throw that over there to the side. You still can use that. It's still edible, okay? That's still edible. It'll be a little chewy. If you don't cook it all the way, it'll be very chewy. Trying to remember. All right. I'll pop the heads off of that. Pop the head off. That one probably should be chopped down a little bit. And so we'll continue on doing it like this until it is completely done. Now this one, cut it in half and chop it up a little bit. And when that's done, we stick it in a pot with something. And I'll show you here in a minute. Alright, so most of you probably wondering what the next step is. It's simple. You get yourself a pan, which is actually quite warm. Oh, I had it sitting on the stove, and there's an air vent that vents the oven. Okay, so anyways, you get yourself a pan about this deep. It's not very deep. Make sure you have your lid. I rinsed it off. And it's got one of those little vape holes in it so that steam can come out. You're going to want to fill this up with your vegetables first. Vegetables are already washed off. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fill this up. Put the knife over to the side and fill this up. And I'll show you what this looks like. It's not bad. Make sure we ain't getting the leaves in there. Alright, so, whoops, there's a stem. I didn't want that one in there. Okay. I kind of got a mess here, but anyways, you see how this is. Now, it's actually a pretty nice looking pan of greens. So you're going to want to fill this up halfway of water. Because the first thing you're going to do is you're going to boil it down. And you're going to turn it over You're going to watch it and turn it over. This will take about 30 minutes to actually cook down, I think. I'm going to set my stove. This is a newer one. So I'm going to use the front burner. I'm going to set it on the big, I think. No, small. I'm going to set it on high to start off with. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to bring it to the boil, and then I'm going to reduce it to medium. And the further along we go, the closer it gets done to being cooked, where we want it to the tenderness, we're going to turn it down to low. So we're going to fill this up with hot water. And why am I doing hot water? Well, hot water will actually start the process of getting hot on the stove quicker. Now, some people use the method of using salt in their water as well. Salt will activate water. Unless you want salty tasting vegetables, I wouldn't do that. All right, we got hot water. But the salt is good for like if you're doing noodles. I'm going to fill this up halfway. Okay, make sure I got it done right. Whoop. And there you guys go. I done dropped you. And we're just going to mix it around a little bit. Make sure your hands are clean. And then you're going to have little bits and pieces of that. Alright, so I broke each one of these down individually into their little stalks. I cut off the bigger pieces. If they were too hard and coarse, I threw them out. I threw that out. Now, I'm going to put this on the stove, on the hot burner. And we're going to put this on top. Now, keep the hole away from the handle. If you're using metal, keep the hole away from the metal handle, because the steam will come out that side. Check on the chicken. You can see we're starting to boil, and this will look really nice when it gets done. I'm going to pull that out. As you can see, it's starting to brown on top. That's good. Matter of fact, the first layer of the chicken is actually starting to cook down. If you look around the edges, you see where it's brown on the pan. See that brown on the pan? That's where the water was at first. It's not there now. So let me get my spoon. And we're just going to baste it again. Just putting it on top. Garlic is good for your heart, by the way. So you can be generous with garlic. If you like the taste of garlic, it's good. But see, whatever's in the bottom of the pan, you're not going to use. You're only going to use the chicken, because a lot of this stuff is going to get cooked into the chicken itself. So you're not even going to need it. Alright, I'll figure out here where we at. There we go. Whew, I gotta splash him in his butt. Okay. Okay, get that over there. Now, if you notice, some of the stuff that was on top ain't there now. Now, I'm going to show you something towards the end that you're going to love. I'm going to close this up, let it cook. The oils and the fats and the greases are going to come out. We still have around, let's see, it's been about a half hour since I put that in. We still got about another 45 minutes. Just in case you're curious, I did tell you I was going to show you what that bag was for. The little trick. Whatever you didn't use, throw your stuff in the bag. I don't know, I had you thinking that I was going to do something special with it, but I don't know anything special. and you just scoop it up, throw it in there. Okay, that's it. Now you don't have to do a whole bunch of cleanup other than that. Take this, rinse it off, and then you're good to go. Come back here in a little bit and we'll show you how we're going to do this. Cook it down, cook it down. Now, if you're like me, I don't mind having a little crunch. I just don't mind having a little crunch to my broccoli. That's going to cook down. We want it to be partly soft, that's for sure. Soft enough that the stem on it isn't that bad. Stand back, folks. It's going to blow. You see how nicely that's looking? It's looking real nice. Very nice, and it smells good too. Oh my goodness. I don't want that knee over there to burn, but it looks like it's going to. Now once it's cooked, let me get some of that out of there. And you got enough. Looks like I got some a little too much garlic on one side over there. There we go. I think I just pulled it out. Once it's brown enough, golden enough on top, you can take a little aluminum foil and stick over the plate, and it'll finish cooking it all the way through. And we'll just stick that back in there for a few minutes. Eventually the oils and everything from inside the chicken will come out. And we'll finish this up. Come back when it's done. Alright guys, so we're back here. We're taking a look at this real quick. Now, I got it done a little bit quicker than I wanted to. But, we cooked it down. We're just going to let it sit there, simmer. It's really, really soft. Really, really good. We're going to drain the water out of it. Not all of it, just a little bit. And then we're going to stick some butter in it when it's done. But as for now, we're going to check out the chicken. It's been in there for 40 minutes. Whew, that's a little warm. I added a little bit more water in there because it was almost bone dry. And I added too much. So we'll come back, we'll baste it again, and then we'll serve it. So now, I think we're really getting to the bottom of the chicken. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here, we're going to cut into it. Now there's another trick if you're not scared. If you got the legs tied up in the back, this probably ain't going to cause you any trouble. If you got the legs tied up, they'll be in place when they're cooked. You cut the rope and you twist one of the legs. If the leg comes off with no problem, it's cooked all the way through. If it doesn't just come right off, it means it's not done. See, the inside of that chicken has to be at a certain temperature to cook as well. But we're going to take a look at this. What we want to do is we want to look at that. I don't know. It's there. And we want to see how much time we actually have left on that. So what we're going to do now, we cut through that. I mean, that came out like butter. And I'll set something on the stove. love cooking. Look how this looks. We're going to set this up here. All right. Try to give you an idea what that looks like down in there. Look how juicy that is. I mean, that is really, really juicy. Let's just see. I got the bone. Uh-oh. There's the... I'll figure out where that goes at. There it is. Look at that. Did it pop right off? That's the question. I don't know. I'm trying not to take the whole leg. But you can see on the leg, the skin is starting to come back. Now, it should be cooked all the way in there. So let me figure out how I'm going to do this. Go over here, we're going to grab a fork. And we're going to grab onto that chicken leg. And we're going to pop it right off of that too. And you stick that right on the backbone. Right there. Let's pull that off of there. Look at that. Look at that. It's a little pink right there. That's alright. The bone isn't red. That's good. So give me a minute. We'll see if we can't serve this up. Boy, it sure does smell sweet. It don't smell. The garlic and the onion powder gives it a sweet scent, and the Italian seasoning as well. It's very, very good. The minced garlic. All right, everybody. So we're going to take the chicken off. It is done. This is going to be a tricky part. And what we're going to have to do is we're just going to have to slide this over. Oh, man. So we got one fork. Let's get another fork. Woo. Look at that. A bit more into the center. All that stuff is good. And look at that leg. So I've been told it was done. So we're going to take a look to make sure. Let's set that over on the side. If you can fit your knife in there, the knife should be able to fit around the joints, and it should pop right through there. You don't need a whole lot of pressure. There we go. Yeah. Alright, I don't want you to see that. Now we got nice tender. The backside is nice. Look how that's actually white meat. That's white. It's just really, really juicy. So we'll get finished here cutting this up. Hopefully, whatever isn't done, we can always stick back in there. So we're going to cut off what we can, and then we're going to serve it up. Okay? All right. Show you what it looks like when it's completed. We're going to also finish up the broccoli. Okay, so, oh, well, there goes that butter. We won't use that. Well, anyways, what I wanted to show you. We drained the juices out of this. It's so soft. So what we do is we're going to get another spoonful of this. about like that. Just carve it out. It's not a whole scoop. I mean, it's actually carved out like you scoop ice cream, but with that soup spoon, and you just throw that in there on top of there like that. You're done with that. Stick that on the stove. Kick the dog out of the kitchen. I don't like the dogs in here. Turn around, man, they just know they ain't supposed to be in here. They see you turn around, they're like, wait a minute. Alright. Make sure that they're still in there. Alright. Get that butter. Alright, so let's show you what I got here. Got the chicken. We stuck it in there just a little bit longer just to make sure. I cut them off individually and then stuck it back in there. Now I've put the rest of it in there. It is in there. You see that pink right there on the bone? We don't want that. So that will cook a little longer. This set at medium. Stick that on top. Let that do its thing, and then that'll be it. And that's pretty much all. Let me show you. I'll do one little thing right whenever we're going to put it on the plate, and that'll be supper. Alright guys, here it is. It's all over. So, steamed, or actually boiled down fresh from the store. Fresh, I said. Broccoli. And smoked steamed chicken baked in the oven. This really is what it is, baked oven. Got the same thing over there. Looks like a nice looking chicken leg over there. And one for my brother who needs it cut up, which is alright. Bon appetit.